The Silver Torch 66 Pouring Bench, the Melting Furnace. For those who are considering to start pouring your own silver, this video will discuss the reasoning why I chose the specific tools and products that I use on the Silver Torch 66 Pouring Bench. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around and check it out. If you enjoy this content, be sure to hit the like button. If you're interested in seeing more content like this, then you can subscribe, but then be sure to select the notification bell so that you'll be notified as soon as I post up new content. In my previous video, I only provided a brief introduction to the Silver Torch 66 Pouring Bench. In this video series, I will discuss the results of my research into all the different tools, equipment, and products, and why I chose to use what I use at my silver pouring bench. Let's start off with the main piece of equipment, the melting furnace. There are many options here, and depending on your metalworking requirements will dictate which type of furnace that is best suited for your bench. There are induction furnaces, crucible furnaces, cupola furnaces, and electric arc furnaces. Primarily what we use in our community are the crucible type furnaces, which either use electricity or a gas oil propellant to create the necessary temperatures to melt our metals. I researched both of these options carefully before I decided on the electric melting furnace. A gas furnace will do the job for sure, but here are the reasons why I went with the electric option. First, I needed to consider that I am new to this process and didn't already have any welding equipment that could be repurposed for the use with a gas furnace. I felt that the electric furnace with the PID ability to regulate and maintain the exact temperatures I needed would make the task much less complicated, and I wouldn't require the purchase of a laser temperature infrared thermometer to know if my metal was at the right pouring temperature. An electric furnace takes up less of a footprint on my pouring bench, no gas tanks and hoses, etc. The electric furnace, I felt, has less of a fire hazard and can be used safely in an open garage or open screened porch. I just didn't feel the same confidence with the open flame gas furnace system in a semi-enclosed area like a garage or a screened porch. I felt a gas furnace needed to be either completely outside or in a designed indoor work area in order to make me feel comfortable using it. Once I decided on the electric furnace, I then had to determine which type and size that I wanted. This decision took a little more thinking. Cost was a factor, but not the primary drive for my decision-making process. If paying extra money provides me with a better, more reliable product, then I'm willing to pony it up. As I looked at the different options out there, they were ranging between $250 and $800 for similar products. A furnace is a pretty straightforward device, so I began looking at durability and reliability as the baseline, then comparing those factors in relation to its cost to help me make my decision. I ended up choosing the generic Chinese-made electric furnace because I felt that, if properly maintained, should last long enough to not justify the increased cost of some of the other models. I then had to decide on the size. Electric furnaces generally come in one of three different sizes: 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, or 3 kilogram. Any of the furnaces can be configured for any of the three sizes with inserts, but when you initially make your purchase, you will have to decide on which size you want. There is a slight price difference between the three sizes, but it really wasn't a factor in my decision. There is a trade-off with your decision though. The smaller 1 kilogram crucible will be much easier to control when pouring, and the 1 kilogram crucible is capable of holding a little over 35 ounces of silver, which is a good amount of silver for pouring. But I didn't like that the inside diameter of the 1 kilogram crucible was only 35 millimeters. Most coins and rounds range from 38 millimeters to 40 millimeters and would not fit without being cut up. That I didn't like. The 2 kilogram crucible has an inside diameter of 44 millimeters, which will accept any coins or rounds, and has a capacity of 70 ounces, which is plenty for making 10-ounce bars. Knowing I could get insets for my furnace later for the smaller crucibles, I decided to go with the larger 3 kilogram size. This allows me to pour anything from 1 ounce to a 100 ounce bar. I felt that by choosing the largest size, I would be ready on day one for any size project. The larger crucible is a challenge to maneuver, but the more practice I get, the less it's impacting the quality of my pours. Each furnace comes with one graphite crucible, but be mindful that graphite crucibles don't last forever, and I would suggest that you always keep a spare on hand. I would also suggest that you don't try to overuse a crucible until it fails, because when it does, the results can be catastrophic. It could cause personal injury, damage to your bench, tools, and equipment. It's just not worth it to me to try to get every pour you can out of an aging crucible. Replacement crucibles are about $35 and not worth destroying my furnace and whatever else may get damaged. Also, with each melting furnace, there will be included a pair of crucible tongs specifically designed to remove the hot crucible from the furnace. These generic Chinese furnaces come in a variety of wattages from 1400 watts to 2100 watts. Wattage equates to power, and this is the amount of power the furnace draws from the wall socket. My research concluded that just about all the furnace versions will heat over 1100 degrees Celsius, which is enough to work with silver. But the lower the wattage, the more time it takes for the furnace to reach the optimal temperature. I further concluded that the higher wattage pulls of a 2100 watt furnace over a lower watt draw version meant the heating elements and electrical components were designed for higher capabilities and thus more durable. Now, I'm not an electrical engineer, so if my theory here is flawed, please let me know in the comments section below. Because these electric furnaces are shipped all over the world, be very careful to make sure that you request the correct plug for your wall receptacle. Anytime you operate a melting furnace like this, it is vitally important that you have and wear the necessary safety equipment. A welding apron, welding gloves, eye protection, thick clothing, and always make sure there's a serviceable fire extinguisher close at hand. Another safety consideration is to make sure that there are no combustible materials anywhere around your furnace and pouring area. Make sure the furnace is located in a well-ventilated area. Be careful to never overfill the crucible, as when the metal becomes molten, there may occur splatter or spillage when removing the crucible from the furnace. Never drop silver into the crucible, rather lower it gently with a pair of long needle nose pliers or a similar type tool. The manufacturer strongly encourages that the furnace not be used more than 3 hours at a time, as damage may occur to the heating elements and other electrical components. It is recommended to exercise a 30-minute cool-down period every 2 hours of usage. Always inspect the cold crucible prior to use. Look for cracks, chips, or thin spots. If there are any doubts about its serviceability, replace it immediately. The crucible provided with your furnace is designed to melt copper, silver, and gold only. If you desire to work with any other types of metals, you will need to acquire a different type of crucible appropriate for that metal. Also be aware that vapors are produced when metals are heated up, and you should always be aware of all the elements that you are placing into your furnace, and if any of those vapors produced can be harmful to you or caustic to your furnace. As with all tools and equipment, once your furnace is completely cooled, take a moment to clean it up in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Give it a once-over inspection and store it out of the elements so it will continue to serve its purpose for years to come. I've been using this furnace weekly for 8 weeks now, and I have to say that it has performed like a dream. No issues, quick initial heating, and the reheating between pours is also very quick. I'm very pleased with my decision to put this product on the Silvertorch 66 pouring bench. If you have any questions about this or any silver melting furnace, let me know in the comments section below. Was this information of any use to you? Are you planning to set up your own pouring bench? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Then be sure to select the notification bell to be notified as soon as I post up new content. A big thank you to all who support this channel by watching the entire video, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. It is very much appreciated. If you enjoy learning about precious metals and staying on top of current events that affect their price, then you will like being part of the ST66 Discord server. It's absolutely free. There are numerous subject rooms where you can watch videos, monitor discussions, or even chime in yourself and be a part of them. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran stacker or brand new. The ST66 Discord is designed to help, educate, and inform all. Stop by and check it out. The link will be in the Show More section below.